All right, guys, welcome. We have a special guest from Americo today, Lindsay Autry. How are we doing, Lindsay?
Oh, we're doing great. It's great to be here again.
Absolutely. I just want to thank you and all of Americo for the sponsorship for the convention. We're just coming off of that successful event. I know you guys are seeing a spike in production.
Oh, yeah.
But I wanted to ask you, what last year, 2024, what did we issue with Americo?
Oh, we were just to the positive of 150 million in production, 150. And also this year, I mean, I know we're coming at the end of only month 2. Like it's crazy. Like February's already over.
I know.
But we're already tracking to blow that 150 million out of the water. Well, so it's a record year.
That's awesome. Well, I talked to Sean yesterday, and he said, you can tell Americo we are committing to 200 million this year. So we will definitely hit that goal. Absolutely. Yeah, we're on the right track already.
We are on the way.
Yep. And you guys are going to be a co-sponsor to next year's event, so you have a bigger presence there, so we appreciate that. But, you know, we were talking a little bit before we got on about You First.
Yes.
And this was a concept years ago. This is what I love about Sean is, like, he'll come up with something, and people will be like, that's crazy, it's never going to work. And we asked for something like this for years, right? And at first, they're like, no, everyone loves a trip, everyone loves a trip. Sean's idea was, yeah, the trips are great, but the producers would actually prefer the money. Because you get $10.99 for the trip. I love that. You want a trip, kind of.
Yeah, you still got to pay for it.
Right, you still got to pay taxes on it. Like, you kind of want it. But wouldn't you like some money to go do whatever you want with? And in lieu of the Americo trip, you guys created this You First bonus. Yes. Now, initially, it was 8%, right?
It was 8%.
And what is it now?
It's now up to 10%.
Up to 10%.
Yes.
And in December, you guys paid out the second half of the You First, right?
Yes.
And that was a record amount.
Record amount again, over $3.5 million we've paid out.
Wow.
You know, Jeremy mentioned at convention, from when we started You First back in 2016 to now, we've paid out over $10 million in bonuses through You First. $10 million.
That's awesome.
And if you think about it, like you said, so many agents, trips are great.
Right.
But sometimes not everybody can go on the trip at that time, or maybe it just doesn't work with their schedule, or maybe they just don't want to go on a trip.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
So that's why we brought out that You First, you know, give the agents what they want, which is money, which is what we appreciate so much with agents, that we get to actually give them something tangible. Use your hard work money to go do whatever it is that you want. Maybe they're getting married, or put it down on a house, car, whatever it is. College funds. We were just talking about kids and how expensive they're getting.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we want to really be able to give it back to the agents so that they can use it how they need for their families.
Absolutely. It's been awesome. We have a lot of new people who watch these, Lindsay. So someone who's brand new probably has no idea what we're talking about. You First bonus, what's all this? So you go out, you sell policies, right? That's what we do. We sell life insurance. You get paid a commission for that. But explain to the brand new agent what the You First bonus is. How do you qualify? And I guess what's the upside? How much could you potentially make?
Well, first number is, like, you could potentially make however much you want to. Right?
There's no cap.
There's absolutely no cap. But what a You First bonus, what this is we start, it's on a 6-month trajectory.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just started, or actually, I guess, it ended, but it started December 1st, and it's running till the end of May, so May 31st.
Okay.
So it's a 6-month, and in those 6 months, all you have to do is submit at least 50,000 You First credits, which is AP, so annualized premium, 50,000, which is super simple.
Right.
Okay, especially with all of the products we have, there's no reason why, you know, there's people that have already hit it right now.
Yeah.
They hit it last month.
Right.
You know, they were already there.
Oh, yeah, I bet Steve Giordano already got his.
Oh, yeah. You know, there's so many that they've already hit it. So 50,000 You First credits.
Yep.
First premium applied ratio of at least 70% or better.
All right, what's that mean for someone who's brand new?
Brand new. So what that means is that for every policy that you submit to here at Americo, we approve it, we issue it. We want to see at least 70% of your clients send in that first premium.
Got it.
And it stays on the books past that free look period.
Okay.
So if you think about it, like 70% of you, like, that should be easy.
Right.
Like,
Absolutely.
Pay the premium, first premium. That's what's going towards that. So that's the first premium applied ratio. And then we have a 6-month persistency, because persistency is very important.
Absolutely.
Right? So 6-month persistency needs to be at 82% or better.
Okay.
And then 12-month persistency at 70% or better. Now, as a new agent, they may be thinking, well, shoot, I haven't even been here for a year. How
Right.
am I going to qualify? If you haven't been here for a year, we're not going to dock you for that. But what we will look at is, do you have enough policies to reach that 6 month?
Yeah.
If you do, as long as you're at 82% or better and your first premium applied is at 70% or better, you're going to qualify for that You First, and you hit that $50,000.
Yeah.
The minimum $5,000 coming to you. Minimum $5,000.
Right.
50,000 You First credits, $5,000 check, and from there, there's absolutely no cap on it. So we've had checks go out whether it's $5,000 or $50,000.
Yeah.
Like
You know what the biggest y'all paid out?
the biggest one I've seen come out was right at about $42,000.
Wow.
I was like, holy smokes! Like
Yeah.
that's more than what some people make in an
In a
entire
Yeah,
year.
absolutely.
And they get that in one check
Yep.
for 6 months worth of work.
Right. For
And it's
just
a
doing
bonus.
for just doing your job.
Doing your job.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, like, they also got all the commissions on those policies also. But
Right.
now, just by doing good business and, doing it the right way and using us, they got another $42,000 check.
Right. And you do that twice a year.
And twice a year.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's if you're a brand new agent, don't think that you have to be here for a year to qualify.
Right.
You absolutely can start qualifying day one.
Yeah.
Day one.
So anybody can qualify. What I love about it is it kind of reminds me, like, we have a couple bonus programs. We have the VP bonus, we have a producer bonus, and it's all based on a lot of the same metrics, and it's designed to teach you to write the proper business.
Exactly.
Right? So you have the premium applied ratio and you have the persistency. So it's not just throw a bunch of crap against the wall, see what sticks. Write good business, protect your clients, and then get rewarded on top of your commissions, minimally $5,000.
Yes.
But like you said, we have $40,000, $20,000 checks going out,
All over.
and it's open to anybody.
Anybody can qualify.
Love it.
Absolutely. As long as you have a contract with us,
Yeah.
you can qualify.
And what products can be applied to this You First credit?
All of them.
All of them.
So any of our products in our term series, so the term 100, 125, our CBO products,
Yeah.
our IUL, of course, is going to qualify, and of course that new final expense, the new Eagle Select,
Okay.
all of them is going to qualify. And I've had some people ask, is it tiered differently? Because, there's a couple different tiers with the Eagle Select.
Right.
No, if they qualify and they've got an Eagle Select, it doesn't matter if it's tier 1, 2, or 3. It's all going towards your You First bonus.
Absolutely. So you talked about some products. I wanted to ask you about the new final expense, right, and then the IUL after that, because that we're shifting more and more to IUL.
Yeah.
Sean said this to me about 6 months ago. He said, "Dude, in 2030, we're going to look back and be surprised that we ever sold mortgage and final expense."
Yeah.
Just because of how strong the IUL is, right?
Yes.
And it's kind of similar as the You First. We told you guys, like, hey, we're going to sell more of this. We need we need a product.
Yes.
And every carrier, Lindsay, goes, yeah, we'll work on that. And you know what happens to most of the carriers? We never get the product.
Yeah.
Because there's, they have all these, I got to jump through these hoops and all this leadership, blah, whatever. But Americo's been a true partner of ours since we started.
Yes.
And you guys created an awesome IUL. Before we get into that, the new final expense, when did that launch, and what are some of the highlights of that product?
Yeah, so we launched that the first week of November, so like right after Ignite.
Yep.
We launched that product. And again, if you're a new agent, you're like, what is this new product? It's final expense, right? Well, with the new Eagle Select, we're going to be able to offer a lot more coverage to a lot more clients based off of their health profile, not just based off of health questions, right? So it's a 3-tiered product. It's perfect. What's really exciting about it is that for those clients that qualify for that level 1 right out the door, they're not going to be able to find a more competitive price or premium with any other carrier.
Okay.
And this, it's day 1 coverage. It's the final expense going up to $40,000. And what's also great about it is that they can customize it. If they want to add accidental, they can do that.
Yeah.
But me personally, I think one of the best things about our product is the process and the support that you're going to be able to give the clients.
Yeah.
Right? So with Americo, you and every agent knows that we are fast, simple, and easy. There's not a quicker or more seamless process than with us in our application process, right? So from start to finish, application takes literally minutes to get through. It's that instant decision. We have that instant e-delivery, so the client can literally receive their policy minutes right after completing the sale.
Yeah.
And they've got it right there. And that kind of gives those clients like that warm, fuzzy feeling. They've got it in their hands. They can see it. They're approved. They've got coverage. It's all right there.
Right.
So love that we're going to be able to be very competitive with our rates. That was one thing that so many agents brought feedback with us
with the Eagle Premier,
with our final expenses. We want it to be more competitive. We want to be able to customize it more. We want, be able to approve more.
Right.
Well, this new Eagle Select covers all of those.
Love it. So 40,000 max. 30 was the old max, right?
The old, yeah.
So you get 10,000 more if you're healthy enough.
Yep.
3 tiers now. So you got the level, and then what's the middle tier?
Level 2. That one's going to be for some of those clients that may have some conditions, but yet, I mean, they're still healthy, right? So if you're an older agent, or I don't want to say older, if you're a veteran agent, you may remember back with the old Eagle Premier, like if they answered yes to any of the questions, it was guaranteed issue.
Right.
Boom. It was out. Right. Now we're going to be able to offer clients possibly level 1 or possibly level 2 based on the questions that they ask. And if they answer yes to any of them, it does not mean that they are either declined or they have to go level 3. We're just going to ask a few more questions pertaining to that exact health diagnosis. So if you say maybe they have diabetes, great. Doesn't mean that they can't get a level 1 or they're automatically level 3, but we're going to ask a little bit more, when were they diagnosed? Do they have any complications? And if they don't have any of those other complications or issues with it, there's no reason why we wouldn't be able to, offer 1 or 2.
Okay.
And so level 1 is going to be the most competitive when it comes to premiums. Level 2, still going to be day 1 coverage, can still go up to 40,000, but now the premium's just a little bit
slightly
more.
higher. Yeah. Which makes sense because your health is not the same as someone level 1.
Yeah.
But the key is you still get a benefit day 1. When a lot of products, once you get to that mid-tier, it's now graded or
all those extra little things with it. No, it is exactly the same as level 1, except just a little bit higher in the premium.
Got it.
Which most people understand. If they've got issues, they know they're probably going to pay a little bit more.
Absolutely.
Right. And then level 3, this is our graded product. And it is a 2-year graded period. But what's very kind of different about our graded product is for most companies, if they do have a graded period or a graded product, if someone were to pass away in those years, it's going to be the return of premium plus like 10% or something, right? Well, with our product, if unfortunately they pass away in those first 2 years, they're going to get all of their premiums back. But then the percentage of additional that they get back is going to be based on how many months that policy's been in place. So if let's say they passed away in month 14, well, they're going to get all of their premiums back plus 14%.
Okay.
So it follows that. And then after the 2 years, then it's that full death benefit. Yeah. And that death benefit for the graded product does go up to $25,000. So it's a little bit less than day 1, which, I mean, it's a graded, so that means that they've got some conditions. But yeah, we're still going to be able to offer them coverage.
Yeah.
And of course, the support with our client portal and our team at Americo, being able to have that Americo name.
Right.
If people don't know, like Americo, we're one of the last like family-owned companies, which is huge. So I know a lot of families, they like to know that your family's covered by a carrier that is family-owned.
Absolutely.
Know the importance of family.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's funny hearing you explain all this. I remember like when we first started with you guys, me and Sean were still in the field, and like we didn't have this stuff. We had paper apps. You sent it in. You never knew what was going to happen. Yeah. The underwriting was not the same. Like you guys have worked with us kind of lockstep, and not that you made every change because Sean will ask for everything and then some. But you've always had an ear to our needs, the client's needs, agents' needs, and I mean, it just shows with what you guys have to offer now. So the IUL, you write a ton of IUL. We write a ton over the phone. It's funny because if you could go back like a year and a half, I had people sit in that same seat and tell me, you can't sell IULs over the phone. You have to be in person. You have to meet with them a few times. It's this whole different sale. You don't understand. And now we have probably 40% of the agent force selling IULs virtually or sometimes just over the phone.
Yeah.
So absolutely. Your new it's still newer, but this was launched last year.
It was launched what is today's date?
It is February 26th.
Happy 1 year.
Really?
Today, it was
Today's
1 year.
Is that why you came up today, Lindsay?
If it works, if the shoe fits, right?
Yeah, right.
But no, it was exactly 1 year ago today that we released the IUL.
Wow.
I didn't even realize that.
Look at that.
Look at that.
It's meant to be.
Here we are.
Yep.
So, but yeah, a year ago today, we released the IUL. And, you guys have heard me say it from stage, on videos, everything. It was what FFL has done with our IUL far surpassed what we thought it was going to do, right? Simply because it's our first, right?
Yep.
And so we got it out the door. We saw huge success with it, and watching it and seeing what we kept hearing from agents and from the field about the persistency and like how much people really want this product, it is showing. 100%. So we're really excited about where the IUL has been for, this first year, but we're even more excited to take it to that next level. Right. So, when we put our IUL out there, we wanted to make sure we had a very strong, solid foundation of the IUL. Very death benefit based. Those clients, if they're looking forward to make sure that they have a death benefit with the opportunity to grow with that cash value, that is our IUL right now. That's our client right now. That's our client. But here shortly, we're going to be able to add, because we've been hearing from the field and from FFL, the opportunity to, have additional features with the illustrations, max funding, adding and things like that. So that was one thing that we did get to release at convention, letting you guys know that the ability to have additional options in the illustration, that's our next step. So,
when will that happen?
I don't have the exact date, but we're planning by the end, beginning of second quarter. So very, very soon. Very soon.
So probably by the time we have our Ignite conference in Phoenix, it will be ready.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes.
Awesome. Of that 150 last year, how much of that was IUL?
We were right at about 60 million in
wow.
IUL.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we'll do more this year. I can promise you that.
We already can see that 60 million is going to be blown away. And then as soon as we add that additional feature with the game over. Game over.
I love it. What about, so over the phone, is it, we sell most of our stuff virtually over the phone now. You guys kind of have a unique signature process. Talk to me about that. So for a brand new agent, go, well, how the hell am I supposed to sell this stuff over the phone? How does it work with you guys?
I love that, because I don't know if you knew this, but before I came with Americo, I was an agent.
I did not know that. I was
an agent for 8 years.
That makes sense, though.
Yes. Wow. So I was in the weeds in the garden. The signatures was terrible. But one thing that Americo, we 100% nailed it on the head was with our text signature. So if you are an agent and you are over the phone, you know how annoying and frustrating it can be to get somebody to try to open up an email and click a link and go here or try to get a wet signature and you lose the sale.
Or it goes to spam, or if those of you that have Outlook know how it cycles everything out, you can't even get an OTP. So you're trying to get someone on the phone, and then you get someone who's maybe a little bit older. Hey, get your email. They don't see anything. They get frustrated.
Or they haven't opened their email in 12 years.
Exactly. Yep.
They're still using AOL. Which, no knock if you still have AOL.
Yeah, no offense to AOL, but you should get a new email.
Yeah. I used to still have my Hotmail, but I finally shut that down a while ago. But the simplicity of the text message when you're doing it over the phone is all it is once you get into the e-app, you send a code and you put in the client's phone number, their cell phone. It's a code. It's a text message goes to their phone. 6 digits, they read that back to you, put that in, and that suffices as their signature.
That's the signature.
And that's it. And you have to do it 2 times, one at the very beginning of the application. It's going to give that HIPAA authorization, run their information, do that script check, everything at the front, which is another great thing that agents should know, is we run all of our checks at the front. Right? So you don't have to go through the questions, get all their banking information, all of that hard stuff, and then run the check at the end and be like, oh, sorry.
Right.
Something came back, right? No, we run everything at the beginning so that you can get that pretty green box and be like, hey, right now everything looks good. Let's keep going. And then
if it doesn't on that, so say I run your prescription check early on and something shows up, hey, she's probably not eligible for this product.
Right.
I can stop there and not submit, and it won't count against my placement ratio.
Oh, and that's another thing. Like Americo, obviously, placement's important.
Correct.
We look at it, but it's not something that we judge agents on because we want first shot.
Right.
Right. We're not going to be like, oh, you submitted this many policies and we declined this many, so we don't want you as
right.
No. It's
Y'all
not
care more about
you.
the premium applied
Absolutely.
than anything.
Absolutely. We want you to bring everything to us first.
Lead
right?
with Americo.
Lead with us first. Let us tell you, yay or nay.
Right.
Right. And if it's a nay, then you know that you've got other carriers. That's the great thing of being a broker. You've got other options for your
Right.
clients. But always lead with America. Let us give you, first chance. We call it like first chance to deny.
Yeah.
Right. Because 9 times out of 10, we're going to approve.
Correct.
If you're doing some field underwriting, understanding where your clients are at, like right out of the gate, and you're like, yeah, let's do it. You
Right.
know, I get text messages and emails from agents all the time. And like, this client has this, and this. What do you think? I'm like, run it.
Yeah.
Run it.
Run it. See what happens.
See what happens. And they'll text me back and be like, oh my gosh,
Yep.
it went through. And I'm like,
And this is another thing, Lindsay. Like, what's funny is a lot of stuff we've asked you guys for, we asked all the carriers. Like, when the e-app really started to pick up, probably 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Sean, his thing was, well, if we're submitting through an e-app and they're denied, how does that cost the company any money? It doesn't. If I'm sending paper apps and y'all got to scrub them, I get it back in the day.
yes.
Bad placement cost the carriers money because they had to process every 32-page
There
application.
was somebody touching
Absolutely.
it. Yeah.
It's all done electronically. Why is that being held against us if it doesn't cost you anything?
Right.
And you guys listened.
Yep.
Give you a spoiler, 99% of the carriers did not. So it's hence why we lead with Americo, but it's been phenomenal.
Yes. Yeah, and we're very, very proud of our e-app process and everything because honestly, I remember when I was an agent, it was like night and day with other carriers. And, other carriers do have an e-app out there, but it was never as simple and easy and just, I don't want to say, well, it is simple. It's simple.
Yeah. Yep.
It's simple.
Oh, there was times I'd rather take a paper app than an e-app with the way how slow they would be. And it was just a disaster when they first started.
Yes.
You know?
It was. We've come a long way from the old sales, even from the sales connection to where we are now. So,
it's night and day.
I love our team back at Americo because we're always looking for more input. Like, how can we even make it even better? And you guys do the most. So we come back to you. It's like, how can we make it better? And really, honestly, like lately, like nothing. Like it beats everything.
Right.
Like there's nothing better out there that we can think of. So.
Absolutely. And if there is, we'll tell you.
Absolutely.
Last thing, annual convention.
Yes.
You guys were a huge part this past year, or this year.
Yeah.
Next year, 2026, you're going to have an even bigger presence. But was this your second event?
This is my second one.
This is your second event with us. For people brand new that are watching from the carrier perspective, let them know what you got out of the event, what you saw, and why, as an agent, you were an agent in the past, why you should attend next year's event.
Well, first off, if you are a new agent and you have not been to a convention, specifically FFL convention, you haven't been to any of the Ignites, but more specifically convention,
right?
You have to get there, not just for yourself, but if you have a family and then the families you're going to be protecting.
Right.
This is where you're going to get so much training. You're going to be able to connect with not only people that's in your team and in your agency, but people outside. There's so many different ways of training and talking, especially if you're doing virtual sales. Like, how do you get over like certain overcoming objections? Like, there is so much packed in these 3 days that if you're not there, you're doing yourself and your business a disservice.
Absolutely.
And so it's also one of those things that if you're not there, you're missing out, but so is your family.
Correct.
So you have to be there. The training, getting to know the carriers, there's so much information that you can get from us as carriers, but also we want to get information back from you guys so that we can make changes. And it's the energy. Like if you're coming off of a rough year, there was some agents I talked to, it was, last year was kind of a rough year, for them. And they're like, this is what I needed to get jumpstart back into it. Because you're not going to find the energy anywhere else. No. Like, nobody does it like FFL, right? Nobody does it. They don't even come close to it.
No.
So if you are really serious about not just making and being an agent as like your job. But if you really want to make a career and a lifestyle out of this and build from this, if you're not there, you're missing out.
Correct.
So I would say if you're a new agent, you bet you not only do you need to, but you have to be there.
Absolutely.
Not only for you, but us as carriers, we want to know you. We want to meet you. It's that whole partnership.
Yep. We started doing the carrier meet and greet Wednesday night probably 3-4 years ago.
Yep.
And I think you were definitely at the one this year and the one the year before. But we had over 1,000 people come in early just to check in, register, meet the carriers. And I think, we won't talk about it here, but what we were kind of talking about before we got on air about what you're planning for your booth this year, I think they're going to love it. It's going to be great. And we appreciate every step of the way, you guys being there to partner with us. Last thing, you mentioned some trainings you guys are doing, right?
Yes.
So what are those all about, and where can anybody watching find those?
All right. So Brandon, if you guys were at convention, you met Brandon Wilson. He's my partner.
Oh, yeah, I love Brandon.
He's doing amazing. He's actually at a training right now. So he's in the field right now.
I was going to say, because last time we gave him a pass. He didn't get on the podcast, but I told him next time you're getting on.
Yes.
And he's not here, Lindsay.
I know.
But he's out working.
He is. He is working. But if you are an agent or you are an agency manager, you and I, we discussed just a few moments ago about You First, right?
Yeah.
And how it is based off of persistency and production. Well, one of the biggest things that we've received feedback on is how do we track our persistency? So Brandon and I, we have been putting on Zoom call trainings. We've been coming to offices, exactly where Brandon's at right now, and showing agency managers and agents how they can use their agent portal to see exactly what policies are affecting their 12-month and 6-month. So if something does, you start seeing a dip in any of them, you know exactly where to go in the portal and be like, I need to reach out to them, and them.
Yeah.
And I mean, I won't name names or anything, but I had a call with an agent on Monday. She saw her 12-month had dipped, and I was able to jump on the call, go into her portal, say, you need to call this one, and this one. And she goes, I know all 3 of those. I was like, call them. Yeah. She called me yesterday, said, I got them all back on the books. We looked this morning. That 12-month is now back up. And I'm like, you're on your way to You First now.
Yeah.
Like she's already at like 36 You First credits, or 36,000 You First. I'm like, you're almost there.
Right.
And she was like, I had no idea it could be this easy. Well, it's one of those things that you don't know how to fix it unless you know where to look.
Correct.
And so we want to make sure that not only agents, but agency managers have the tools to get their agencies and their agents to that next level with You First. Because if you think about it, if they're bonusing, then the agencies are bonusing, and everybody's bonusing, and we're all winning.
Absolutely.
So we want to make sure that we're promoting that good business and helping you guys get to where you need to be. And so if you're an agency manager and you want Brandon or myself on a call, make sure to reach out to us. You can go to the ffl.americo website and click on, like, if you scroll down a little bit, you'll have like my picture with the video there, and you can say like request at a meeting, whether you want us to come to your office or jump on a agency call, a training call, whatever it is. There's so much information that I feel like is on the portal, but we don't know how to use it yet. So we want to make sure everybody knows how to use this, because like we set records last year, but I'm not one to just set a record and then let it be there for a couple years.
Right.
No, I want to keep moving it.
Absolutely.
So that's my goal this year. That's our goal this year.
Love it. Yeah, because once January 1 hits, last year's over. Now we're back at 0. Well,
starting over.
We're not at 0 anymore, but we were. Well, that's awesome. We appreciate everything you guys are doing for the entire company. Where you can see more of Americo, we got Ignite coming up in June. Yes. You guys are going to have a presence at Cancun.
Yes.
And this has not been announced yet. We're looking for dates, but there will be an Ignite conference in the fall on the East Coast. So like last year, I think we did Vegas and then somewhere near Boca. We're doing
Palm.
Phoenix. Yeah, West Palm. There you go. We're doing Phoenix and probably back at the same place at West Palm.
Oh, perfect.
Yes. So you guys will be obviously at both of those and then at convention. So you guys can go to fflconvention.com now to get registered. We're actually selling tickets a lot quicker than we did last year. So if you're looking for premier seats, VIP, I'd get on that ASAP.
Oh, yeah.
And we gave out like over $500,000 in leads at this past event. I mean, you saw Sean up there throwing them out, shooting people with T-shirt guns.
Oh, my gosh. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And like I said, if you're a new agent, or even if you're not a new agent, get your tickets now.
Absolutely.
Because you don't want to miss out.
Not at all. And even like our keynote speaker lineup, like we got some fun stuff. Can't say anything yet, but like last event we had Deion Sanders, we had Tim Grover, yeah, we had Dave Anderson as always.
He was amazing.
It's funny, we do these surveys and he's always like everyone's favorite speaker.
Oh my goodness.
And then we had Eric Thomas, hip hop preacher, who was phenomenal. So guys, thanks for joining us. Lindsay, thanks for coming in.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Absolutely. And hopefully we'll see you at the events.